And you gotta love a good countdown. I love that. Love the excitement. Hello and welcome to our teaser for Speak in Style. Jane Vandermeer and I are back again. You might have noticed that last week. Thank you so much for those that showed up. We had two different times. We had a little confusion going on. Stuff happens, especially when both hosts are in two different areas of the world, like as far apart as we could possibly get.
Exactly.
So let me first say welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Our topic tonight is very related to what we do because both Jane and I really want to make sure that brilliant people shine and they're not holding back, not shrinking back. And there's going to be stuff that happens for every single one of us that we feel like shrinking back at different times. That's when Jane and I step in and go, no. Let's just rethink, pivot, get a new perspective, get a new look on you, and just move forward. And so we're here to address something called identity crisis. And that is specifically when we have things that happen in our life that kind of shake our foundation a little bit. Sometimes good things. It could be a new job. It could be starting a new business. It could be getting married, right? Moving to a whole new place.
Absolutely.
And it can also be things that are maybe not so light, like losing a or losing a job, having to relocate, not choosing to relocate. There's a lot of different things. Even when your kids move out of the house, it's a whole different deal. Getting a divorce, right? You lose that identity that you had been in for so long.
Absolutely. And it's the opportunity for, like, it's so hard at the time, but it's the opportunity for reinvention. And that is always amazing as you move through.
It is, and that's that's what we help to facilitate, of course. So let me introduce my co-host to you, everybody. Okay, so this is Jane Vandermeer, and Jane has she's an award-winning international stylist. I mean, like award-winning, like blow your mind kind of thing. She has clients all over the world. She stems from Australia, which is why we're doing these things through September, because she's actually coming over here to the US, and I had to jump on the opportunity to work with her in person, which we'll tell you about a little bit later on if you hang out for a few minutes with us. We're not going to be here very long. But Jane has a wonderful holistic approach, a very innovative way to make sure that people really just feel their best. She specializes in working with women, and that's kind of our focus today. Guys, if you're here, please don't go away. We want to hear from you. We want you to share this with the women that you love and that you work with. And who knows, we can give you some stuff that'll help you too, So everybody, this is Jane Vandermeer.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I'm so thrilled to be here. Good morning to my half of the world. Good evening to your half of the world. So it is a very, very considered decision to align ourselves together. Our language, as soon as the moment we met, we've both watched our language and our approach to who we help is very aligned, which I love. I love because we do approach things in often a non-traditional way and a much more holistic, because we show up as a whole package. So I'd love to introduce my wonderful co-host, not only co-host tonight, but collaborator on our very special workshop that is coming up very soon. So this is Sandra Dee Robinson, a former Hollywood actress, glamorous, beautiful actress that she is, now labelled the Charisma Coach, which I love that. I love that. So her specialty is in self-leadership and communication, whether that is in the boardroom or on stage and everything in between. So I'm so thrilled. Let's talk about our topic today.
Let's do it. So when we talk about identity crisis, I gave you some of these circumstances, right, Jane, of like where these things can happen. So let's just talk about, I love that, Jane, you shared with me a few things that you actually had women describe about, like the things that they said about their bodies. And again, we're talking like Jane has a very holistic approach, as I do when I'm helping people to find their voice and step out. So, you see, it's not just that you're putting clothes on somebody for the right body type. You're doing colors as spring and fall. There's way more than that to what you do.
Absolutely. I realized long ago that you're right. It's not just, to me, taking a lady shopping and saying this jacket would work on you, this would work on your colorings and all of that. Lovely.
Nice. Yeah.
But I feel that it's giving you the tools and explaining why things are the way they are. That is how you remember. That is how then I'm giving you empowering you as opposed to helping you be reliant on me.
Yes. And I
Other
work the same way. So that's kind of why we
Yeah,
so what are some of the things that people had said to you? You actually reiterated some of the stuff that people
yeah. Look,
right.
I'm finding this really common theme at the moment, and I'm also finding that when I talk to other fashion friends or makeup artists or people in my industry, this women are talking about their bodies and apologizing for their bodies within seconds of meeting me. Now they can be, have 20 years experience, have all the credibility, have this amazing business or role or be at this extraordinary part of their career. So on the surface, what we all see is we think, wow,
Right.
but that self-talk runs so deep, and it's compounded by someone that we liked who said something mean, some family member, a partner, or whatever, girlfriend along the way, and it feeds that self-talk. So it
What are
takes
some of the
time.
things what is it that they say? What have they actually said to you? Like, when they say they
Oh,
apologize, what does that sound like?
yeah. So you better wear a longer skirt to hide your knees. You better cover up your bottom. It's too like, and then what women do is they'll wear really big shapeless things on top to
Cover
cover
up.
the bottom. And actually, often, not always, depends on your proportions, but often that makes you look even bigger again. Or they worry about bust, and then things are so big here that it creates this horizontal line, and you can't tell what's arm and what's in between. So it sort of then propels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just I would figure it kind of, like, takes the confidence level, the foundation of who they actually are and kinda dismantles it a bit, right?
Totally. And then they're like, "Oh, don't look at me." I find they're wearing clothes that say, "Don't look at me."
Yes.
And so, my mission is to help women flip that and give you tools so that you stand strongly within your sense of self. And then you share your message, share your business, help the people you like. This is bigger than you. This is
Yeah.
bigger than you and your fear. This is, think about who you are helping.
And that's exactly what I tell people when I deal with what we would call stage fright, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was paralyzed by it. I mean, I do this, and I
Same.
use the coach.
Same.
The name that you liked was kind of a joke. Somebody in the media gave me that, and I thought that's so tacky, but it is kind of fitting because the
Yeah.
charisma that I bring out in people is what's already there. I
Yes.
I didn't bring mine out for a really long time. I mean, I was already making money and well known as an actor, and I couldn't speak into a microphone as myself. So I understand what it's like.
Mhm.
100%. And so
Mhm.
that's one of the reasons why I think we're paired together so well is that,
Yeah.
we both work
Yeah.
from the inside out,
I
help
was gonna say we've lived this.
get
Yes.
over the yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
there, done that. And
Yeah.
and so one of the things that we mentioned too is if you speak for your business and you want to shrink back and not be seen, that's not going to work. So and who
Not.
speaks for their business? Every entrepreneur that is out there right now listening to this, you speak for your business. Even if it's
Absolutely.
getting up at your BNI meeting or your
Yep.
chamber of commerce and you give
Yep.
your 30 seconds, your 2 minutes, you're still speaking. If you're talking doing sales, if you're talking to somebody to pitch your company, you're still speaking. Now, of course,
Absolutely.
there's also different size stages. You can get up and you can keynote, you can do breakouts, you can do virtual speaking. There's all kinds of things that you can do. But I find that when you say like what you're describing, they go through a transition, they have something happen in their life, and they go,
Yep.
"Well, I'm not really sure who I am," and they shrink back and don't take that opportunity to speak up. It's costing money, isn't it?
There is so many lost opportunities there.
Yes.
Even this week, a beautiful lady who, I know, and, again, on the surface, she's got a PhD, she's got all the knowledge and experience, but I can see and, the lack of, the loss of confidence and therefore losing your way. And I get that. That small business particularly is the opportunity for constant personal growth, and that's
Yes.
what we're talking about here.
Well, it's
And
always
you
constant personal growth. I mean,
yeah, and to me, it is making good choices for people who will guide you and help you get from here to here. You
Ooh,
can read
yeah.
it all and know all the theory, but it's very, very different taking that action.
Here's something you just brought up something, and I want to use this to kind of lead in to give people the details because we're not here for very long. I want to give people the details of what we're doing when you get over here, and you'll be here in a few days here in US and in Texas, in my part of town. But one of the reasons, and I posted this on LinkedIn actually today, is like, why would I pair with a stylist? And here's what stylists have taught me. And I will tell you, horrible confession, I tried to find a photograph of this outfit, but I couldn't. When I went up to New York City for my first auditions and my first job to like break into acting, I showed up in New York City, the city of black, right?
Yeah.
White, long skirt, white granny boots, and a fluffy purple sweater. And this was like my go-to outfit that I thought was so awesome, right? I was completely out of place. And I still get teased. The first casting director that ever had me read still teases me to this day when he sees me. He's like, do you remember that outfit that you wore? I'm like, yeah, I do. But the interesting thing is, here's the thing. I booked the job in that hideous outfit because I felt good in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But wait, Jane, here's what I say about you and the ability to have somebody that understands who you are, what you're trying to portray. When I started working with stylists, both for myself outside of the shows, and then when I was on a show playing a character, the clothes changed the way I felt. So the stylist on a TV show is actually a huge part of what creates that character.
Absolutely. They create the character, don't they? In part, yeah. And I call
it's important for us to dress in a way that empowers us because it changes how we feel and how we show up.
Absolutely. And when you're walking in to an important meeting, whether it's one-on-one, whether you're going to your BNI networking event, if you feel completely the most you possible, not me dressing you up as a replica of me or me dressing you up as my doll, none of that, but you look the most Sandra possible, you will walk into that room differently.
Yes. And if you're speaking, and this is where I'm coming in right in our live event, this is the part that I do. If you're speaking, you're using language that represents your personal brand. And you're not talking corporate, and you're not using the words that you might have used when you were in a different position or job. You're actually shining as who you were designed to be. That will attract people to you automatically. I mean, I've had women that have said, I hate going to networking events because they were trying to be who they thought other people wanted them to be. And the second that I would shift that, they would say, people walked up to me all night. I'm like, because you were just brilliant and showing up as you. Well, that's what we're bringing to the table, right? We're not going to be here for very long, so let's just give them some of the details, right? We're going to be in Dallas, which is an easy place to fly to. So I'm just saying, if you're not in the Texas area, easy to fly in. We're actually going to be at a place called the Lincoln Center in Dallas. Attached to that is a hotel. Like literally, you don't even have to go outside. So if it's 197 degrees, which
I noticed it is. Coming from winter.
She's coming from the cold, and we're like, spreading our butts up over here. But if you want to go outside, you can. But if you don't want to, you can literally just hop right up to your hotel room and leave whenever you like. Leave the next day.
And we've got some beautiful women traveling 5 hours to come and attend, which is brilliant.
And and it's just an afternoon. So it is on a Monday. It's September 25th. That gives you time to get yourself there, have a cup of coffee, maybe do some calls and stuff for your morning so you don't have the whole day that you're dedicating if you don't want to. But we do ask that you come and you dedicate like 12 till at least 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., we're going to move on down and you can still chat with us. We're going to hang out a little bit down in the lower area of the Lincoln Center where there is a restaurant and a bar, and we're happy to have more conversations there. But, when we're up in the conference room, it's going to move really fast, but we have so much fun for you. And we've got bonuses that are actually 3 times as much as what the price point is. So Jane and I talked about this, and we priced it stupidly low, I think, but it's fantastic. We'll just tell it's $349, and you're getting both of us working with you. We're not working en masse. This is less.
No, it's very bespoke.
We're actually picking the people that we're allowing to come into this because we don't want just everybody. We want to be able to work with women and have them walk out like, right, Jane, how do you want them to walk out at the end of the day?
I want you to walk tall and be really grounded in your sense of self and radiating really strongly with all that you are. And I would also say we made a very strategic decision here to not have open this up to 200 or 300 people where you are part of like a face and sort of a sea of women. This is bespoke and is very considered because of that. So there is the change and transformation will happen. I have no doubt.
Absolutely. And we're super excited about it. And before we sign off, I just want to acknowledge that my friend Daniel Dark just piped up, and Daniel has, Jane, you would love Daniel. Daniel has like the most, he has a cigar trolley. So he restored.
Oh, I know Daniel.
He's right?
Yeah, he's fabulous.
So he piped in and he goes, I have one set of clothes to wear, no matter what. I pull out of my closet, and most people remember me, even if they cannot remember my name. Now, really specific, right?
He lives his brand. He is very,
And there are people that do that. Now, most of the ladies that are going to be coming with us do not wear the same thing every single day, but there are people that have, and that's their deal. You know, we're looking for women that want to be, I would say, not trendy, but dressing in a very confident, classy way that they feel good, and they represent their brand and their product and their business really well. And I can tell you, when I see women that go through the transformation like that, once I work with them and I work with, and I see what Jane does, it's really incredible. I mean, it's really hard to duplicate that when you're trying to like do.
And I think what happens, with both of us too, is we start working with people. You me with women for a portion of time, and then it becomes a sort of a lifelong connection and support, because knowing you have that. Now, that doesn't have to happen, but I will say that does happen, because we're helping on such a holistic way. And as you level up, because you will level up, because you're taking on these brave steps, you need people behind you saying, you know what, you can do this. We will show you how.
Yes, you do. It's funny, even if you're a solopreneur, right?
Totally.
Solo does not mean you do everything by yourself. You have to have a team. And so that's why we're really picking the people for this event on the 25th and looking for folks that we can then become support to. And if they choose to continue to keep us in as their support, afterwards. Not that we're doing a big sale. It's just that we want to show you what it's like to have that support. And we can do that in the 3 hours that we've got you, 3 or 4 hours, right? Mm-hmm. So here it is. I love it. We're getting ready to sign off. And our wonderful producer, Richard Bontrager, who we're going to bring in a second, because you have to say he's helped us so much. So there's a QR code. You can actually scan that. That'll take you right to a page that describes a little bit more about what the actual day is going to be, and a little bit more about us, if you missed that in the beginning of our live here, and who the heck we are. Do you want to actually believe us? Yes, I think so. So go there, check that out. If you sign up, we'll have a little conversation with you. I'll reach out to you and just make sure that we're going to be able to serve you as best we can. You'll get some bonuses that will set you up before you even get there. So I think you're going to be empowered even just with the bonuses, right?
Yeah, it's a whole process, isn't it? It's pre-work on the day, capturing all that there is, and then post. And there's some gifts that we'll give post that you can talk through what you've done. Yeah.
Rich, hop on out here, Rich, so we can say thank you to you. There you are.
Hey, but I do want to say, just to make it very clear, this is like the 1-2 punch. Because often we'll talk either about the speaking, the presentations, or we talk about the fashion.
Yeah.
Women, this is a great event because you're getting a 1-2 punch. You're going to sound good, look good. You're going to learn how to strut better, and you're going to look the part that you want to look. They're going to bring all the pieces together.
It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt like a punch. I mean,
it's going to be a nice, good, loving hug. But again,
and if any of you know me, you'll know that would not.
That would be it. Hey, I see that Megan Tull, wonderful Megan Tull, amazing coach yourself. She's asked, can we share this with others? Yes, absolutely. Please.
Yes,
this isn't for you. Like if you're a guy and you're watching this, you're like, hey, you know what? Share it with somebody that you care about, that you work with, that you love, that you're in a relationship with. It would be fantastic for us to see if we can't help them just feel amazing
And maybe it's someone in your team or someone who works for you, or who, if you know someone that you just know they need this help, by all means, and as you can see, it's boutique and considered. So
and if there's questions, they can reach out and we'll respond back. I love that Daniel has here, after 15 years, finally breaking through to my wife that she deserves to look great in her clothes. She deserves to feel great.
Love it. I'm having a run recently where I am working with a lot of women in their mature stage of life, and I love it because for many years they haven't prioritized
themselves,
their aesthetic, because it's been everything else, and I understand that. But I love that at this point in time they are doing that. They are placed. They are like, I am ready. It's almost like I'm enough and I'm worthy of this.
And there you go, Daniel. That's what you can say, is at this point she's probably done so much for everybody else, and I know that she's just darling because she's with you, and you've talked about her with such loving words. And so, honestly, she's probably sacrificed a lot for other people, I'm guessing, and this would be a great time, to be able to say, look, let's make yourself feel really good. It'll change the way she walks into a room, doesn't it? It changes.
And I would add, with women, when we feel better about ourselves from both of our approaches, we walk into that room differently. It affects our business relationships. It affects home. It affects our personal relationships. I bet your dates together will be even more special, Daniel. And I would also flow on and say it affects communities, because most of us are very involved in our communities, whether that's local or beyond. And so us feeling better, holistically better, speaking up and contributing in a different way. Look at the flow-on effect there.
So it's true. It's true. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out and chatting. I love the folks that chatted, and we'll check back, because a lot of times there's stuff in the comments, right, Jane? So we'll come back and look and see.
Absolutely. And between both of us, we're here pretty much all globally. Because you do one LinkedIn, I do the other.
Hello, I'd be in LinkedIn most of the time, so I am around. So I'll be looking at it, and then too, I think it's showing up on a bunch of different outlets too. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or I'll check back there. We'll check back and look and see if there's any questions. You can reach us through any of those platforms in a direct message. And thank you guys so much. And thank you, Jane, for playing with me today.
Thank you. It's so lovely. It's a lovely day to start our Friday here in Melbourne, Australia.
I love it. I love it. And we've got a storm rolling in, which is a good thing here in Texas. That means we've got rain.
Okay.
So it's a good night.
The temperature drops by the time I arrive, that'd be good.
It'll be under 100. So there you go. You're welcome, Megan. Thank you so much for being here. Megan is awesome. You guys check out Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
She's an amazing coach herself.
Thank you, Daniel.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, everybody. And we'll be looking for your comments, and we'll chat later. All right. Bye.
Excellent.